The stars were quiet. The spaceship flew fast through space, but something was wrong. Emma, a young space engineer, sat in her seat, checking her controls. Suddenly, the lights blinked red. Loud alarms rang all around her. Warning! Engine failure. The ship's computer said. Emma held the controls tight. No, not now. The ship shook hard. Sparks flew. A large asteroid hit the side of the ship. Everything went dark. When Emma opened her eyes, the ship had crashed. She was lying. On the floor, her head hurt. Blood was on her forehead. Smoke filled the air. She got up slowly. Where am I? She whispered. She looked outside through the broken window. The sky was red. The ground was dry and full of dust. There were no trees, no animals, no water. Just red rocks and a strange silence. Emma checked the ship. The radio was broken. The food supply was low. The oxygen tank was damaged. She had only 7 days of air. I must fix the ship. Or find help, she told herself. She packed a small bag with water, tools, and a scanner. She opened the ship's door. A strong wind blew dust into her face. She stepped outside. The red ground felt soft under her boots. The sky had 2 suns. One was big and orange, the other small and blue. Emma walked carefully. She used her scanner to check for life. Nothing. No animals. No humans. Nothing. But then she saw something strange. Large footprints. They were not like human feet. Each foot had 3 long toes. The prints were deep, like made by something heavy. Emma's heart beat faster. Someone ... or something is here. She followed the tracks. They went up a hill and disappeared near a large rock. Emma moved closer. Her scanner made a soft beep. Life form detected. She froze. A sound came from behind the rock, a deep growl. Like breathing. But not human. Emma picked up a small metal rod from her bag. It was not a weapon, but it made her feel safer. Hello? She said. Her voice was shaky. No answer. She took a step forward. Suddenly, something ran past her, fast and large. She screamed and fell back. She didn't see it clearly. Just a shadow, tall, 2 arms, long legs, dark skin, glowing eyes. Emma got up and ran back to the ship. She closed the door and locked it. What was that? She whispered. She sat in the corner, holding the rod tight. Her heart was racing. That night, the wind outside howled. The ship creaked. Emma couldn't sleep. At midnight, she heard a soft tap on the ship's metal wall. Tap, tap, tap. She stayed quiet. Then another sound came like breathing. Slow, heavy. It was just outside. She turned off the lights. The breathing stopped. Then silence. Morning came. The red sun rose again. Emma opened the door a little. No one was there. Just dust and rocks. She walked outside, holding her scanner. The footprints were back, new ones. They circled the ship. Emma's hands shook. He was watching me. But the scanner showed no life now. She walked a little farther. She needed food. She found strange plants growing near a red rock. She scanned them. Safe to eat. She picked a few and returned to the ship. That night, she cooked them with the last bit of heat power. They tasted bitter, but she ate anyway. Just as she finished eating, the ship's light blinked. Movement. Outside. She stood up and walked to the window. Nothing. Then eyes. 2 glowing eyes staring at her from the darkness. Deuce. She gasped. But the figure did not attack. It just stared, and then it turned and walked away. Emma didn't know what to think. Is it trying to scare me? Or is it curious too? She sat down, alone, afraid, but also interested. She wasn't alone on this planet. Something or someone was watching her, and maybe it didn't want to harm her. But why was it there? Where did it come from? And most important of all, what did it want? Emma woke up to silence. The red wind outside had stopped, but the planet looked different. A thick white mist covered the Land, the rocks, the ship, and even the sky were hidden. She stepped out of the ship slowly, her scanner in hand. The mist was cold and wet. She could barely see 2 feet ahead. Everything felt wrong. Suddenly, her scanner beeped. Life form detected. Close. Emma's heart jumped. She turned in every direction, but saw nothing. The mist made it hard to see, hard to hear. She took 1 step forward and froze. Crunch. She had stepped on something soft. She looked down and saw a dark, slimy object. It looked like a broken shell. An egg? No, please don't tell me that was an egg. The scanner beeped louder now, very close. Then she heard it. Breathing, deep, slow, right behind her. Emma turned quickly. There, standing in the mist, was a tall creature, not human. Its skin was dark blue, almost black. Its eyes glowed soft yellow. Its arms were long, with thin fingers. Its body looked strong, but it didn't move. It just watched her. Emma held up her hands. I don't want to hurt you, she said. The alien tilted its head, like it was studying her. I'm Emma, she said slowly, pointing to herself. The alien didn't speak. It just copied her movement and pointed to itself. Emma blinked. You understand? The alien nodded once. Slowly. Emma took a small piece of dried food from her pocket and placed it on a rock between them. She stepped back. The alien stepped forward slowly and picked up the food. It sniffed it, then ate it. Then, it reached into a small pouch on its side and pulled out a purple fruit. It placed the fruit on the same rock. Emma looked at it. Trade, she whispered. She picked up the fruit and took a bite. It was sweet and soft. For the first time in days, she smiled. They sat there, a few feet apart, sharing food. For a moment, the mist felt warm, safe, but then a sound echoed through the fog. A growl. Not from the alien. The creature stood up quickly and pushed Emma behind a rock. 3 large shadows moved in the distance. 4 legs. Long tails. Sharp teeth. Predators. Emma froze in fear. But the alien stepped forward. It picked up a small spear from its back. The creature's body changed. It was no longer calm. It was ready to fight. The beasts came closer. Emma grabbed a metal rod and stood beside the alien. She was scared, but not alone. The beasts ran toward them. The alien threw his spear. Direct hit. 1 beast fell. Emma swung her rod at another. It hit the leg. The beast cried out. The alien fought like a warrior, strong, fast. Soon, the beasts ran away into the mist, leaving behind strange tracks. Emma sat down, breathing hard. You saved me, she said. The alien looked at her. He sat beside her and touched his chest. Zorak, he said in a deep voice. Emma's eyes widened. Is that your name? He nodded. She smiled. Nice to meet you, Zorak. They sat together in the mist. Not enemies, not strangers anymore. Friends? Or something more? That night, Emma returned to her ship. Zorak followed, but stayed outside. He looked at the sky and pointed. Emma looked up. A storm was coming, but not from the sky. Something else was on the way. Something bigger. And this time, they might not survive it. Morning came with a sharp, cold wind. Emma opened the door of the ship and found Zorak standing outside, watching the sky. He hadn't moved all night. Did you even sleep? She asked, stepping out. Zorak didn't answer with words. He just pointed at the sky. The 2 suns were gone. Thick black clouds were coming fast, spinning like a storm, but not natural. Emma looked at her scanner. Storm level, unknown. It said. She frowned. Even the scanner doesn't know? Zorak pulled a small piece of metal from his side pouch. It glowed blue when he waved it through the air. He looked at Emma and pointed toward the far mountains. You want to go there? She asked. Zorak nodded. Emma grabbed her bag. Let me get some supplies. She quickly packed food, water, and energy cells. As she left, she paused and stared at the ship. "Will I come back?" she whispered. They walked together into the red hills. Dust flew. Rocks cracked under their boots. The wind carried strange sounds, whispers, like voices, but there was no one else around. After 2 hours, Emma's scanner beeped. "Plant life detected." She smiled. "We might find food here." They entered a small valley. Strange trees grew here, twisted, black, with glowing green fruit. Emma scanned the fruit. Nutrient-rich. Safe. She took a bite. Tastes like sour apple. Zorak reached for another fruit and crushed it in his hand. The juice dropped to the ground and tiny fireflies rose from the drops. Emma laughed. "That's beautiful." For a moment, she forgot the fear. She forgot the loneliness. Later, as they climbed higher, Emma tripped on a sharp stone. Her knee bled. "Ow!" she cried. Zorak rushed to her. He tore a piece of cloth from his arm wrap and tied it around her leg, gently. His fingers were warm, careful. "Thanks," she said. Looking into his eyes, for the first time she saw pain in them. He pointed to the sky again. "Many, not good," he said slowly. Emma was surprised. "You can speak English?" Zorak nodded. Listen." She smiled. "You're learning fast." As night came, they reached a hidden cave under a tall rock. Zorak lit a small blue fire from crystals he carried. Emma sat by the fire, eating another glowing fruit. Then she noticed something strange. Zorak was watching her. Not just her face, but her hands, her stomach, her movements. "Something wrong?" she asked. He didn't answer. Emma looked down at her skin. It was glowing faintly but real. "What's happening to me?" she whispered. Zorak stood and touched her shoulder gently. He placed a glowing stone in her hand. As soon as she held it, her scanner blinked. "Warning. DN, a change is detected." She dropped the stone in shock. "What does this mean? What did you do?" Zorak looked down, ashamed. "Not me, planet, you change." Already, Emma's heart raced. "I'm changing?" he nodded. "You." "Not sane now." She stood up, scared and confused. "I need answers, Zorak. What is this planet doing to me?" Zorak walked to the back of the cave and pulled away a cover of vines. Behind it was a wall covered in glowing symbols. Aliens, humans, children, with both features. Emma stepped closer. "These are hybrid beings." Zorak touched a symbol of a human woman and an alien standing together, holding hands. He whispered, "Before happened again." Emma stared at the drawing. "You mean it's happened before? A human and your kind?" Zorak nodded. Emma felt dizzy. She stepped back. Suddenly, the ground shook. Boom. Rocks fell from above. Dust flew. Outside, a massive ship passed over the cave. Its shadow was wide and cold. Emma and Zorak ran outside. The ship was not from Earth. It had claws instead of landing gear, and red lights blinking fast. It dropped. A scanner drone that started flying toward them. Zorak grabbed Emma and pulled her back inside. "They find." "Hide!" he shouted. Inside the cave, Emma sat in the dark, her heart pounding. Zorak placed a hand on her stomach. His touch was calm. "Protect, future," he said softly. Emma looked down. She didn't understand everything yet, but one thing was clear: she was changing, and the future had already begun inside her. Emma couldn't sleep. She sat near the small fire in the cave, her hand resting on her stomach. It still glowed faintly. Zorak sat quietly beside her, staring at the wall of alien drawings. So many questions filled her mind. What was growing inside her? Why her? What was this planet really hiding? Suddenly, her eyes widened. She remembered something. Back in her crashed ship, there was a hidden signal booster. It might still work. Emma stood up fast. "I have to go back," she said. Zorak looked at her. "Not safe. I don't care. If I can fix the booster, I can call Earth. I can get help." Zorak stood in front of her. They come, bring war, Emma frowned. What are you talking about? Zorak touched the cave wall on one side. There's a drawing of humans with weapons, fire, and destruction. On the other, peaceful aliens running away. They came before, he whispered. Killed, took, burned. Emma stared in shock. You're saying humans attacked this planet before? Zorak nodded. You not first. Emma didn't wait. She picked up her bag and started walking. The sky was dark now. Strange flashes of purple lightning lit up the clouds. The air felt heavy, like it was watching her. Zorak followed in silence. After hours of walking, they reached the ship. It was damaged worse than before. Rocks had fallen on one side, and the engine was half buried. But the signal room was still. Safe. Emma rushed in. Dust filled her lungs as she pulled open a panel. There it was, the signal booster. Cracked, but fixable. She began to repair it using wires, power cells, and her tools. Her fingers moved fast. Zorak stood at the door. Uneasy. She looked up at him. Just a few more minutes. Suddenly, the booster blinked. Signal, ready. Emma smiled. Yes, she pressed the button and sent a message. This is Engineer Emma Jameson. Crashed on unknown red planet. Alien life found. Need rescue. Repeat, need rescue. The signal shot into the sky. Zorak stepped back, fear in his eyes. What's wrong? She asked. He didn't answer. Then the sky turned black. A loud hum filled the air, like something giant had woken up. Emma ran outside. In the sky above, something terrible was coming. Not a rescue ship. A harvester, a massive alien machine. Long and dark, with claws and hundreds of red lights. Zorak's voice broke the silence. They hear signal. They return. The harvester descended. It wasn't looking to help, it was here to collect. To destroy. Zorak grabbed Emma's hand and pulled her toward the mountains. But before they could run far, a glowing drone appeared and scanned them both. Emma's body reacted. The scanner on her arm blinked. New life form detected in host. Begin tracking. Emma looked at Zorak in horror. They're after me, Zorak nodded. They want what's inside. Emma ran faster. Her breath was short. The wind screamed around them. They reached a hidden entrance behind a rock wall. Zorak pushed a code into a panel, and the rock opened like a door. Inside was a secret chamber. A room filled with strange machines, glowing orbs, and old alien tech. Emma was shocked. What is this? Zorak pointed. Before war, safe place. She saw a large crystal table in the center. On it, a floating image showed a baby half-human, half-alien. Emma gasped. That's my child. Zorak nodded. First one, in many cycles. Emma looked at him, eyes full of fear and wonder. But why me? Zorak walked to a console and pulled up a hologram. A message played. A human woman, years ago, speaking into the camera. If anyone finds this, know that Earth tried to destroy this planet. I stayed behind. I was the first to carry the hybrid child, but they took it from me. Please, protect the next one. Emma's heart sank. This had happened before. But now, she had a choice. She stood in the middle of the room, breathing hard. I called Earth. I didn't know. What do we do now? Zorak looked at her and placed a small glowing chip in her hand. Choose. He said, run or fight. Outside, the harvester ship was coming closer. The red lights turned toward their cave. Inside her, something new was growing. Something more than human. And now, the hunt had begun. Emma sat alone in the quiet cave. The harvester ship was still above the mountains, scanning the land. Zorak was outside, keeping watch. Her hands were shaking. Her skin still had a faint glow. And her stomach, something felt different. It was no longer just fear. It was movement. She placed her hand gently over her belly. Kicked at her. Breath caught. It was real. This life inside her was alive. She looked at her scanner. It blinked. DNA, changing heartbeat. 2 detected warning, human system. Adapting to alien biology. Emma's eyes filled with tears. What's happening to me? Zorak entered quietly. He saw her expression and knelt beside her. You feel change, he said softly. Emma nodded. I'm scared, she whispered. I'm not ready for this. Zorak placed a glowing orb on the floor. It floated up and showed a moving image like a memory. A female alien sitting under a glowing tree, holding a baby. A human-like child with alien eyes. Zorak's voice was gentle. This happened before. Emma stared at the image. Was that your family? He didn't speak. But his eyes gave the answer. She looked at him, her voice soft. And they took the child? He nodded slowly. Emma held her stomach tighter. I won't let them take this one. Suddenly, a loud blast shook the cave. A hole cracked in the rock wall. Dust flew. Emma coughed and held her belly. Zorak grabbed her arm and ran toward a narrow tunnel. Behind them, a drone entered. It scanned the air and followed. Zorak turned and threw a crystal bomb. It exploded in a flash of blue light, stopping the drone for a moment. They kept running. At the end of the tunnel was a glowing gate made of vines and rock. Emma collapsed to her knees. I can't, I'm too weak. Zorak looked at her worried. She was sweating. Her heartbeat was fast. He took out a fruit from his pouch, dark purple with glowing spots. Eat, he said. Emma took a bite. It was sweet and cold. As soon as she swallowed, her body felt lighter. The pain in her stomach faded. The glow around her skin became softer. What is this fruit? She asked. Zorak smiled. Life tree fruit for mothers. Emma stared at him. He had brought it for her. He had known. All along. They walked out of the tunnel into a hidden valley. It was nothing like the red desert. This place was full of green light, floating water, and tall silver trees. The sky was calm above this valley, protected by a natural shield. Bird-like creatures flew slowly. Soft music came from the wind itself. Emma whispered, It's beautiful. Zorak pointed to a large white tree in the center. Tree of change. They walked toward it. The tree pulsed with light. Its roots moved like they were alive. Emma touched its trunk and felt something enter her mind. Visions a child, her standing tall, with Zorak's eyes and her smile. Peace. A new world. A future. Then, the vision changed. War. Soldiers in black armor. Earth's flag on their shoulders. Guns. Fire. The child crying as they pulled it away. Emma screamed. Zorak pulled her back. What did you see? He asked. Emma looked at him, her face pale. They're coming. Earth soldiers. I saw them. I saw ... my baby. Zorak touched her face gently. We protect. Suddenly, the sky above the valley cracked. The harvester ship had found them. A red beam shot down. Burning trees nearby. Zorak stood in front of Emma. They want the child, he said. Emma stood too. Her fear was gone. She was not just a survivor. Now she was a mother. And she would fight. The red beam from the harvester ship burned through the edge of the valley. Trees melted. The wind turned hot. The sky screamed. Zorak and Emma ran deeper into the glowing forest, dodging fire and broken branches. Emma held her belly, protecting the life inside her. Suddenly, the light from the sky stopped. Silence. They had entered an old ruin, a forgotten place hidden deep beneath giant stone pillars. Vines covered the walls. Strange glowing orbs floated in the air. Emma looked around in wonder. What is this place? Zorak's voice was calm. This is the first home. He touched a panel on the stone wall. It came alive. Symbols lit up in gold, spinning around them in the air. A deep hum echoed from the ground. A door opened. Inside was a circular room with old machines, glowing crystals, and a large mirror-like screen. Zorak stepped forward and spoke in his native tongue. The screen showed an image, a planet full of Life, oceans, forests, cities in the sky, Emma gasped. That's this planet? Zorak nodded. Before humans, before war. The image changed. Giant ships came from the stars, Earth ships. They scanned the land, mined the ground, and released poison into the sky. Alien Zorak's people tried to fight. But they were fewer, peaceful. They lost. Another image appeared. A human soldier holding a hybrid child. The same glowing skin, the same soft yellow eyes. Emma stared in shock. It's true. This already happened. Zorak nodded. Humans feared our kind, took children, hid the truth. Emma stepped back. And now Earth is coming again. Zorak looked at her. Not Earth. Something worse. He tapped another panel. It showed a different logo, Earth Tech Corporation. Emma's eyes widened. Private military? Zorak replied. They come not to save. They come to take. Emma clenched her fists. They want my baby. Zorak looked down. Your child is the key. Suddenly, a siren echoed through the cave. The floating screen blinked. Red. Intruders near. Emma turned to Zorak. We have to move. But Zorak pointed toward the back wall, a hidden chamber. Inside was a stone cradle glowing with energy. Zorak spoke. This is the birth cradle. It helps protect and grow. Emma felt drawn to it. As she stepped inside. The cradle surrounded her in a warm light. It didn't hurt. It calmed her. Her body felt stronger. Her mind clearer. Visions came again, this time of a future. The child grown, standing between two worlds, Earth and the alien stars. A voice whispered, one child can end the war, or begin a new one. Then darkness. Emma opened her eyes. Zorak was standing above her. You saw? He asked. Emma nodded. The child will be powerful, but the world must be ready. Suddenly, a loud blast shook the cave. The roof cracked. Fire poured in. Earth Tech soldiers had arrived. Emma stood up. Her body glowed brighter now. Her strength had grown. She no longer felt weak. I'm ready, she said. Zorak handed her a staff made of crystal and metal. No running now, he said. As they stepped outside, fire lit the sky. Ships landed. Drones flew. But Emma was no longer afraid. She was part of this planet now. And inside her was something Earth had never seen before, something they could never control. The truth of the planet was alive, and it was growing stronger. The sky was on fire. Black ships hovered above the valley. Red lights scanned the ground. Giant machines crawled across the rocks, destroying everything in their path. The Earth Tech soldiers had arrived. They were not here to rescue. They were here to take. Emma stood at the mouth of the ancient cave, holding the glowing crystal staff. Her eyes shone like twin stars. Her skin now glowed softly, not human anymore, not fully alien either. Beside her stood Zorak, his armor made from the living metals of the planet. Behind them was the sacred cradle, where life had begun. Again. Emma turned to Zorak. We protect the child, no matter what. Zorak nodded. Until the end. They stepped forward together. 3 Earth Tech drones flew down. Stand down, a robotic voice ordered. Subject identified. Transfer the hybrid to command. Emma said nothing. The staff in her hand pulsed with light. It wasn't a weapon, not until now. She raised it and the ground shook. The energy of the planet responded. Vines shot up, smashing the drones mid-air. Lightning cracked from the clouds above, but not normal lightning, silver bolts that only struck metal. From the caves, the last few survivors of Zorak's kind appeared. Hidden for years, they had waited. And now they joined the fight. It was war, but not for land, for the future. Earth Tech soldiers dropped down with electric guns and heat armor. They fired without warning. Zorak leapt forward, faster than any human. He moved like a blur, striking one, disarming another. Emma moved through the chaos, using the staff to shield herself. Each time she was hit, the staff absorbed the blast. Her baby kicked inside her dot, and with each kick, the staff glowed brighter. The child was helping her dot. Then came the Earth Tech commander, tall, armored in black and red. "You're carrying the most valuable thing in the galaxy," he said. "Give it to us, and we will let you live." Emma looked at him. "I'm not just carrying it, I'm its mother." She raised the staff. The ground cracked. The tree of change behind her burst with light, sending shockwaves through the valley. Soldiers flew back like leaves in a storm. The commander stood, trying to aim, but the staff sent a beam straight into his chest. His armor shattered. He fell to his knees. "You don't understand," he said, gasping. "That child will change everything." Emma walked past him. "I know," she said. "That's the point." The battle ended with silence. The Earth Tech ships began to retreat. Their systems couldn't survive the planet's energy anymore. Zorak stood beside her, blood on his armor, but alive. "You did it," he said. "No," Emma replied. "We did it." Later that night, under the stars of 2 moons, Emma sat beneath the glowing white tree. She screamed once, then twice, and then silence. Zorak held the child in his arms, a small being with soft gray skin, golden eyes, and a peaceful smile. Emma looked weak, but smiling. The baby opened its eyes and looked at the sky. Zorak whispered, "A new life, a new hope." Years passed. On the red planet, a small village grew near the ruins. Humans and aliens living together, sharing stories, sharing skies. Emma watched her child play among the stars, laughing. The galaxy had changed, and it all began with a crash.